Okay, everybody, we have our next game at the Summer Qualifier. We are looking at TeamLiquid versus Evil Murkies, and this is actually game number 1 with Infernal Shrines starting up with the draft, and TeamLiquid is actually quite quick on banning out Greymane here. And Khaldor with me is Tetcher, and we're going to bring you the draft right now for our best of 3 series here at the tournament.
Yeah, like you said, starting off with the Greymane ban really early. What we've seen pretty much consistently from every team previously has been Zagara or Zul bans pretty much every time as first.
Yeah, with Zul, we would usually have like the second team banning him out for sure. In this case right now, it's Li Ming on the other hand that they are trying to get rid of. So apparently not too afraid of the lockdown, and TeamLiquid is reacting immediately. Which actually, like, it surprises me a lot that Evil Murkies are banning out Li Ming. I mean, I can see why you would ban her out, but I actually feel on this map in particular, she's not really as scary as on other maps. And Zul, on the other hand, is way more scary on this map than on a lot of other maps that we have in the pool, because while you delay the team or your opponent at the shrine for the Punisher, Zul just simply YOLOs to the bot lane or the top lane, wherever, the opposite side of the map, and tries to push the structures down.
Yeah, Zul has insane clear on the shrines, insane push in the lanes. No matter what you do, he is just incredibly powerful on this map. And Evil Murkies decide that their response to that will be a Sonya, bringing out that bruiser to at least help themselves get some good wave clear, someone who can solo lane against Zul, just trying to get any kind of counter pressure they can.
It's a really interesting start into the draft now after what we've seen the last few days from the North American region, but also like in this tournament here itself right now. A very high Sonya priority now for the Evil Murkies. We oftentimes see her together with the Muradin even so that you can jump into the back line. Not quite the hero that I would necessarily expect together with with Sonya this early in the draft though, and it looks like they actually value Rhaegar extremely highly still. We've seen a lot of teams going into early Tassadars and going into double support style. Sonya of course benefits quite nicely from that lightning shield, but the Evil Murkies definitely with a very unique draft considering the recent changes that we had in the meta.
Yeah, very true. Like, this is a patch ago's draft. Basically, what we are seeing here, the Rhaegar plus the Sonya together was pretty powerful, still is pretty powerful. You don't have to run Rhaegar with the lightning shield build. You saw those patches ago. You can run with Totem and still have it be useful and just let Sonya go in and get the damage done. But like you said, it's still a bit different to what most other teams are running, but it's given Liquid plenty of opportunities when it comes to ranged damage dealers and warriors.
Yeah, and talking like warriors, I mean, overall, with them now using BKB as a warrior, there's a lot of tools that they can use in this situation. TeamLiquid has a couple of options in how they can play this. They can either try to really capitalize on the Bone Prison and the lockdown, or they can just like play Zul at the front line. First of all, of course, as a pusher on lane, but just another one at the front line that can really like create a bit of a barrier between the front line of the Evil Murkies and TeamLiquid's backline, especially Chris, of course. And in this case, TeamLiquid already heading into that very melee-heavy style with adding a Thrall to the composition, which means that they have at least 3 melee heroes once that they completed their setup and added a tank. And Falstad being played now too for good poke, especially with that Gathering Storm build, you can get a lot of minion stacks out of this as well. So TeamLiquid already looking at a very strong composition with lockdown, with damage output, with Falstad being able to use Gust, also his fly ability, so this setup is already very scary.
Yeah, but they are leaving their warrior until their last pick, and that's actually Evil Murkies decide to start banning them. They get rid of that ETC straight away, and they can pick one up for themselves, as they have the next 2 picks after this phase. So Liquid's question is what they want to ban out. They already have their options pretty secure for their ranged and melee damage dealers, so getting rid of more ranged damage dealers makes the most sense, as they need a support and a warrior to finish up their lineup.
They could even ban out a Tassadar if they are afraid of like the Tassadar plus Rhaegar composition. It would of course limit supports a bit, but still there is a very high chance that TeamLiquid can still lock down someone like, for example, Karazim in their setup. And we have seen also Morales a bit more often with heavy front lines, so that's another option that they have. But in this case, TeamLiquid is actually banning out a hero that we've been talking about a bit earlier, at least they're looking at it right now. Zagara would put like a little bit more wave clear into the opportunity, or like, sorry, into the composition of Evil Murkies, so they ban her out. And the Evil Murkies, I'm really interested to see what we're going to have from them to support Sonya. Is it going to be like more warriors at the front line, trying to play it like really heavy, or are they going to rely on a single backline damage dealer and add another support, which in this case could definitely be Tassadar, or that Tyrande, if they really feel like with Tyrande they would probably run a Muradin here for the stun into stun. I could have seen a Tassadar if they would have put more of a priority onto Sonya, but they actually go to Randa Johanna here.
Yeah, that gives them plenty of wave clear, but it does leave them a bit short of that whole sniper style I think you were talking about, which really sets up for Sonya and gives Muradin over to TeamLiquid, who already have a hell of a lot of single target crowd control. So adding in the Muradin into that is just giving them so many options.
I mean, you can use the Stitches as well. I just don't think that the Evil Murkies are going to run in the second warrior. They already have Johanna, they have Sonya. I can completely understand that you want to play a Johanna on this map, even though the Knight takes pawn doesn't really apply to the minions on the shrine anymore. But still, like, pushing out the waves helps you a lot. But I personally believe that in this particular setup, a Tassadar would have been the better option for them. At least unless they make a really surprising pick on their last choice right now. TeamLiquid is going into that charism, which is of course very good with Zul and Thrall, and now they are going to make that decision with Muradin that we've been talking about. An option would also be, of course, to go into Stitches, and it seems like that's actually the one that they're going to go for. They have still Thrall and also Zul to capitalize on that, and could in theory even play charism with a 7-sided strike if they are trying to heavily rely on that. So overall, TeamLiquid with a very, very scary and solid lineup.
Yeah, and that hook could hit either of the two supports, and both of them would probably get killed off with the amount of crowd control Liquid has at the other end of that hook. And Vala also, quite risky, she does have her Vault, but she could get burst down very quickly if she gets hooked in. Johanna and Sonya should be fine with Whirlwind and Iron Skin, but they're going to be in the front line Stitches. We've seen BKB great with his hooks, managing to fish through the front line and grab the people at the back.
Yep, the Evil Murkies with the Vala. Vala, of course, in general, very strong right now. Oftentimes we're seeing Composite Arrow on 1, Frost Shot on 13 to lead into an auto-attack hybrid build with Execution on 16, Manticore on 4, and then the Searing attacks on level 7. But still, like Vala, if they go into a Reign of Vengeance, could capitalize a bit on a Tyrande stun. But overall, the setup that they're running here with a Johanna, it feels like Tassadar might have given them a bit more utility and also heals than a Tyrande will be able to. They can use, of course, the Shadowstalk later, but with Muradin, they could have gone more into a snipe composition, whereas with Johanna and a Tassadar, they could have used that to really put Sonya a bit more into the limelight and have her at the front. As is, overall, we still have a bit of a scary setup. We've seen also a couple of Bloodlust combinations already in the past, even though I doubt a bit that we're going to necessarily see it here, especially against the Mighty Gust. Bloodlust is always a bit of a double-edged sword, since you can just simply gust the opponent away and then wait out until Bloodlust is gone. The setups where we have seen Bloodlust so far have usually always tried to just like get rid of heroes like Falstad and Zeratul and also Zagara to make sure that there is no real escape available to the opponent's team. But as is, we have our first game set up, so TeamLiquid versus Evil Murkies. The best of 3 series is starting us off on Infernal Shrines. So let's jump in and see which team is going to take the lead here. Game number 1, everybody. We are on Infernal Shrines. We have TeamLiquid going up against the Evil Murkies, and to the left side of the map, it is TeamLiquid with Lowell on Zul. We're having Get Amherd on Charism. BKB, the newest addition on the team. Not a full member of TeamLiquid yet, but currently the tryout that they decided to play the summer qualification tournaments here with. It is BKB, and well, he of course played already in Katowice. He played together with Virtus Pro. After that, they replaced Juvo with him, and he is now the newest addition to their setup. Chris on Falstad, Shat on Thrall, and we have to the right side of the map the French team with Q on Rhaegar, Danatan, the former Na'Vi player, on Vala, Tank for the win on Sonya, Tic Tac on Johanna, and Arcane is playing Tyrande. I'm Khaldor, with me again is Tetcher, and we're going to bring you the coverage here at the Summer Qualifier.
And to start off with, we see the Evil Murkies playing very, very far back. They want nothing to do with getting hooked by BKB and just giving up first blood. It is something we've seen many times from many people playing against BKB, and they don't want to be the ones to fall to it as well.
Yeah, and right now when we look at the talents, we have Shay taking as a level 1 talent on Zul once again, and there's a couple of things that I would still want to point out. When we're talking Vala on the side of the Evil Murkies, and of course we have on level 1 already the composite arrow taken. And you have a couple of choices of how you can play Vala on a map like Infernal Shrines. You can go into Arsenal with her if you really want to for the additional wave clear so that you have a bit of an easier access to the Punishers on the Shrines. But one of the things that is actually going to be incredibly useful is also if you go into an auto attack build that you can just simply capitalize on the Frost Shot level 13 by even adding Executioner on 16 to your auto attack build so that you get even more damage out. The results are absolutely stunning. You get great damage out of it, but of course you lose a bit of the wave clear that you would have if you go into Arsenal, even though the multi-shot in itself has been nerfed by Blizzard slightly.
Yeah, this is true. We are going to see a quick pause while players just sort something out quickly. But I would like your opinion on picking the Shade here, considering that it is the talent that we see most of the time on Zul, but considering against a Sonya and a Johanna, maybe the percentage damage might have been pretty strong here as well.
Could have gone for it for sure. I like it because it adds a bit of survivability to you, and they are actually playing an incredibly strong frontline right now with 3 heroes. We have Stitches as the main tank, and then you have also Thrall, and you have Zul. So apparently they are afraid that Zul might fall if they don't go for the talent here, but especially with Karazhan behind it, I think you're right. They could have gone for the damage here. Personally, I like Shade because it keeps you safe, and they want to have the sustain for the Shrines. I think that's the reason behind it.
Yeah,
the more
I agree.
Yeah, the more you can stay on the Shrines, you know, like the more likely it is that you end up with the Punisher. But I feel in this case, they did definitely have option considering that they have this many frontliners.
Yeah, and they're against such an aggressive line as well with the Sonya, with the Valor who can go into a bit more auto-attack focus, especially with searing attacks. Tyrande even. The Shade is just going to allow you to stay alive so much. Like, what ability damage do we see? We see Valor's and we see the Seismic Slam from Sonya there.
Yeah. And also one of the things that we have, of course, now, we talked about this a bit during the draft, we have a Tyrande that goes into the cooldown reduction build over the Tassadar, which was an interesting choice, but she's also getting some value for the team right now, trying to go for this. Now, the cool thing about a Tassadar would have actually been that it would add some AoE to you for those minion fights, and also, they are not really going for that sniper build where you have a Mirrodin following up that stun. So overall, it just seems that also Sonya would have been able to capitalize on a Tassadar a little bit more. We decided against that, and we're going to see how exactly Tyrande is going to influence the playstyle here right now. But keep in mind that also with Chris going into the Gathering Storm on his false step, we're going to have someone that can get incredible siege damage later on out with that boomerang build that is now so popular on the hero.
We see Tank getting hooked in. There's the root from Zul, and he is dropping straight away. Sonya going to be wiped out as the first kill of the game.
Yeah, and an interesting choice already on level 4 for Sonya, going into the focus on tag. Interesting because most of the players that you see playing Sonya against Azul these days opt for Hurricane instead, so that they can actually just mitigate the entire problem with getting locked down by the hero. So Bone Prison is not an issue anymore if you go for Hurricane, since you can just simply activate it after you get locked down and move away. So in this case, they completely decide to go on the offensive and not really care about that lockdown, and that might prove to be a bit of a mistake.
Yes, so they've got a very aggressive lineup as is to begin with. They're just continuing down that line, but like I said, I would prefer maybe if they hadn't. There is the root once again onto Sonya, making that whirlwind not do anything here. Hook just misses there, and right now, the amount of demons pretty even for both teams.
Yeah, Eternal Retaliation also taken for Johanna, who's trying to go for the Condemns the entire time. Pretty even Punisher situation right now, as you already pointed out, Tetcher. They're starting to go for it. Stitches went for the slam, and the Frozen Punisher comes to life for TeamLiquid. They get the hook against Q. Great stun from Arcane, but Q might still fall. It's so close. Yeah, jumps in. They go get the chain lightning, and he somehow is able to escape.
He didn't even get the chain heal on himself. One lightning from Thrall here and he dies, but he is going to be able to be back to base and survive. BKB is pushed into mid lane with this Punisher. He's going to be able to get this tower with the help of Shad. The Punisher, though, was pulled over and does go down.
We have the hybrid build now taken with Manticore as the level 4 talent for Vala, and Chris decided on Falstad to go into the poke from a distance with his Hammerang. He could have gone, of course, also in the Flow Rider, which is especially in the North American region extremely popular, since you can combo it off with a level 16 talent with Arigast, which helps you just to spam Hammerang out a lot more often if you stay in the backline. It's definitely a talent that he could have used, considering that he has so many frontliners that are going to try and shield him.
Yeah, definitely possible, but I guess with those frontliners, he just doesn't want anyone skipping them, like maybe Sonya, and getting to the backline. But I agree with you. I think maybe the Flow Rider might have been a little bit stronger here, but they decide to play a bit more defensively, keep Felstad way out the way.
We have already on level 7 now Ragnar's Blessing taken, so we are going to see a bit more self-sustain for Zul. Personally, I'm very curious to see what exactly his choice on level 13 is going to be, since the Giant's Curse could be very strong against Johanna and against also Sonya. But you have, of course, the option to go also into the Corpse Explosion, both pretty valid talents here. On level 7, we see Echo of Heaven now already taken. We have Follow Through after the Chain Lightning build. And just overall, very, very solid talents here on the side of TeamLiquid. But it's also like a situation right now where we have a lot of heroes where you have actually alternative paths to talent the heroes.
Yeah, they all have alternative paths, but they are just sticking mostly with what we would consider possibly the standard talents on all of these heroes for the moment. Whereas for the Evil Murkies right now, they appear to be struggling a little. They're getting a lot of pressure on them thanks to Liquid taking that early game advantage.
Yeah, Liquid is actually getting camps now as well, and with perfect timing too. We're having to the top left already good on work. Shat wants mana, so he's actually moving back to base for a moment as the next shrine is coming up. Chris staying safe, dodging all of the stuns. Really well done. If he dies here, that would be a huge problem for his team. But they are incredibly close to level 10 now as well. Keep in mind what we said during the draft, by the way. Lowell can simply stay on lane and try to push, and as long as there are 3 heroes down there, Chris and BKB have no problem moving down there too, bursting a few more of these minions away, getting the experience to bring them closer to their heroic abilities, which will allow them to claim an easy Punisher.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Punisher has already been started. They're doing this with 3 people in the spot lane, just with Brawl and Karazi, because they know there is no way in hell that the Evil Murkies are going to try and contest when level 10 is so close for Liquid. And that's exactly what's happening. Zul continuing to stay in the bot lane, getting rogues down on by 4 people here, but stays very far back, stays completely safe, and Falstad and Sitch is soaking the mid lane. Brawl and Karazi soaking the skeletons in the top lane. It's going to be a Punisher without too much of a loss for Liquid.
Yeah, lockdown attempt here already, the Bone Prison, and nicely dodged here by Arcane. That cleanse definitely was absolutely worth it. That would have been a kill most likely against her. So that was a very nice move from Rhaegar, cleansing her out. The Poison Nova on level 10 is also incredibly powerful here, and that's going to make it very difficult for Sonya and also Johanna, of course, once they engage onto those shrines. Not really a big surprise with the talents. The only thing that I really want to mention on 10 is that we have a strafe over a Rain of Vengeance on Vala still taken.
Yeah, the Rain of Vengeance might have been very useful considering the amount of front line that Liquid are running. If they dive you, the possibly full stun could be a huge deal between winning and losing, or at least giving your backline a good chance to reposition.
Yeah, of course, Ray of Vengeance forces you to get a bit closer to the action, which a lot of Vala players, of course, do not really want to. But she's going for an auto-attack start anyways, so that would have definitely helped. With Strafe, she can move back a bit and just keep herself in the background for the duration. But you're also missing during the entire time out on your auto-attacks, which is oftentimes a bit of an issue, and another argument in favor of the Rain of Vengeance, which of course got heavily buffed with the damage output as well by Blizzard. So, yeah, bit of a different style from what I expected here, especially since this is the only real range damage dealer. But right now it's TeamLiquid only running the show with another Punisher already pressuring the top team.
Yeah, Punisher does go down. The towers do survive, but Liquid have already rotated off to do other things. They're going to steal the Mercenary camp. Zul, this entire time, has just been a hard push in the bot lane. They managed to get a hook, and down goes Vala there. Unfortunately, you can't vault back over a wall, so she just gets annihilated there.
Yeah, at that moment, as a Vala, you know you're dead.
Yeah.
You see that hook, and if that is not cleansed out, or you are able to just miraculously move out of the way, if you get hooked in that situation, you know you're down. And BKB with a beautiful hook there, of course.
Yeah, you just get that feeling in your head, just like, I'm not 20. I'm dead. There's nothing I can do about this.
I know, the only feeling that you have in that situation is like, FML. Why me? That's the only thing that goes through your head in that situation. Believe me, I've been there. So, right now with the 13s, we have also the question answered. No Giant's Curse for Zul. We are seeing the Corpse Explosion. We have at the same time the Mega Smash now, and after the Putrid Ground. So pretty solid talents taken again, with also Gedam Head going for a bit more survivability thanks to his Relentless. But they are really rocking the show right now, and they're playing a very solid game. And I have to say that, especially in this case, that hook that we saw for BKB, that was already incredibly powerful and really strong for them. Again, Poison Nova used, and everybody affected is getting really low. TeamLiquid, they're pushing the issue, and Falstad isn't even with them.
Yeah, the healing totem, though, from Rhaegar, able to heal up most of the damage from that Poison Nova. So they are able to move back in, and they will save this fort thanks to that with the great wave clear from the combined Sonya and Johanna.
Chris the entire time still up at the top lane, and there's nothing really that he has to fear at this moment. He knows, of course, about the positioning of the opponent just perfectly. When it comes to the damage output, just to give you guys... Oh, well, let's look at the level 13 talent maybe first of all. It's interesting that Sonya is already saying, alright, screw this. Poison Nova and everything else. I'm not going to go into Mystical Spear. Spell Shield it is. And Rhaegar decides that it's time to get that cooldown reduced a bit so that he can heal the heroes a bit more. The only one playing it a little bit aggressive is Johanna, who wants to make sure that she gets the additional minions when fighting on the shrine.
Yeah, she wants that wave there. She's going in right now. Forward engagement. They're trying to take down Thrall, but Mighty Gust pushes them away. Shad gets pumped for good measure, but he is able to sustain. But Danatan from the side, shield comes down, and he's Sundering keeps Shad alive. He will get out. Never mind.
Gad is playing such a great game right now, but he's not able to keep his ally alive. Yeah, there's the kill against Thrall, and I have to give some credit here to Arcane for a moment. It's not only that 4-man stun that he was able to land at the beginning, but the last arrow that he shot out, not only the arrow, but also that stun against Thrall were amazing. That was really well calculated, incredibly well done. So Arcane currently rocking it on that Tyrande. Very, very scary. But TeamLiquid still the team that is, well, basically calling the shots, but because of that kill earlier, they won't be able to. Oh, again! The stun again, and Arcane gets away, gets healed, better safe than sorry, but they're still behind. They will win the Punisher.
Yeah, so that is going to be the first Punisher of the game for the Evil Murkies, which will now push the mid lane. Liquid, though, are going to be grouped up to defend this, and they're approaching their level 16. So once this Punisher's gone, they'll split up, grab a bit more XP to get them to their 16s, and then they can play aggressively onto the map again. The Murkies, though, using this Punisher as best as they can. They want to try and get the towers out of this at least, but Liquid kill the Punisher too quickly.
Yeah, you can already, like, at this point I can actually imagine how that conversation went when they were talking about Tacita as their second support. Everybody was just like looking at it and they were saying like, alright, Tacita is the obvious choice, we go for Tacita. And Arcane was like, but I'm really good on Tyrande. And everyone's like, well, but we go for Tacita. And he's like, I'm really good on Tyrande.
I don't think you guys are understanding me.
But I can't make any plays on Tacita. I'm really good on Tyrande. And everybody's just like, alright, be quiet, whatever. And now they're like, oh my god, you're really good on Tyrande.
It's like just in the movie, just like, no, you guys aren't understanding me. I'm really good at Tyrande.
That's basically it. I mean, but seriously, like, those stuns were on point so far,
yeah.
and that owl was great as well. So yeah, really well done here. But still, TeamLiquid on 16 now, and that gives us the amplified damage, and that makes things even more scary. Pulverize, Hammer Time, Tempest Fury. Look at these hooks! BKB is just turning into a hook monster at this point. Like, he is a magnet attached to that thing somehow. Every single time he gets Tyrande or someone else there, this is the kill that they've been waiting for. So they finally get that in. We have Sonya on the other hand at the top so far. They were trying to just like limit that experience gap a little bit, make sure that at least they could get closer in closing that gap. So yeah, they've been playing pretty well here, but it's TeamLiquid with 3 kills against 1. Not really a kill every game, by the way. Yeah,
this is a bit very interesting for now. Chris going to be soaking XP, and the Murkies don't have a huge amount of choice but to sort of stay in their base, except for now they are finally on even talent, so they can push out a little. But Liquid just annihilating this game right now in terms of objectives. All of the forts down in exchange for 0 forts down.
Yeah, and well, you know what the funny thing is? We've been talking about BKB's hookers a little bit. He didn't even go for fishing hook. I mean, like, no. It's understandable, of course, that he wants to make sure that they get also the control over the shrines a little bit more, because those Punishers, of course, they scale. This is definitely a map and also a style in which you don't really have to go for fishing hook, especially with those earlier focus on the slam talents. But he doesn't even need it. He hits those things anyways.
Yeah, he's hit all. Well, he hasn't hit every hook, but the ones he has hit, have been pretty damn good. And now, though, everyone here except for Falstad, now such Gerd is being zoned out. Bless Shield does land on him. Shad gets pwned for good measure. The Poison Nova does a lot of damage here, and the Sundering to prevent any extra chase.
Yeah, pushes them back. Tic-tac. Oh my god! That Ancestral! That was so good. Look at this. They're taking Rhaegar down. They didn't even need Chris down there. They were able to get a 4 versus 5 situation going, even with 16 versus 16 talents. TeamLiquid with great team coordination. BK... Oh, with the fishing hook, that would have hit.
That's what you get salty about it. You win the fight even without fishing hook, and then you're like, damn, I wish I had fishing hook.
Yeah, that is actually one of the things that Alex Fanavi was talking about a couple of times. It's like, yeah, you always want to go for fishing hook, but let's face it, sometimes it's just better to go for the extra control in the fights. And that's one of those situations. But it's always making you a little bit salty when you just barely miss that hook.
Yeah, you're never gonna wish that you'd have pulverized when you don't, but you will always wish that you had fishing hook when you don't.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, looking at the stats overall, we have 30,000 hero damage on Zul. He has a 120,000 siege damage as well. Still, Falstad is a pretty close second with 112k. But when we're looking at Stitches, 23,000 damage, pretty solid, even though he didn't go for his level 1 slam talent. And yeah, Vala, 27k, the most damage currently on the side of Team Evil Murkies. She's trying to get the damage out, but it's actually very, very tricky for her at this point.
Yeah, she is doing a hell of a lot thanks to her AoE and the Manticore searing attacks, giving her a lot of single target damage too. But microing back the Punisher towards the core right now, it will get taken down. But with the keep down, the core is now under assault. The Punisher won't get through the shields though. So we will see Evil Murkies surviving for the moment. But in the meantime, Liquid just bullying the other lanes, keeping the pressure on.
One of the things that I want to highlight, though, is that we have, by the way, Vala with survivability. So even though she has 2 supports next to her, she went into Blood for Blood over Executioner, which is by now more or less the standard style if you go for Frost Shots. So that's one of the things that I still find kind of interesting. Yeah, it limits her damage output, of course, a little bit. And they have slow. It's not that they only have to rely on the Frost Shot. They have by now the Earthgrasp Totem and the Colossal Totem. So, personally, I really believe that Danatan, as the only real range damage player in this setup, should have gone for the more aggressive option and tried to go simply into Executioner, since he also has 2 supports that he can rely upon to keep him alive.
Yeah, I was 100% going to mention that. 2 supports and you don't pick the aggressive talent. He's just going for Blood for Blood. The Blood for Blood, though, is going to really, really help against Stitches, who does have that hungry for more and currently has 1,290 bonus health. Also, Core's dying. That's relevant.
Yep, that's the thing. The core is being attacked. They snuck in. There's the move back, but they simply just burst that down. And this is looking like this is going to be game. Team Liquid moves in and they're going to get those kills. Great decision here with the level 20 talent. They're not screwing around. They finish the game and take the lead in the best of 3 series. Congratulations. And we're going to go and jump into game number 2. Alright, well, everybody, we are back. We have Towers of Doom as our second map. Evil Murkies actually like to play on this one. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Vikings ban here actually starting this off. But, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Team Liquid is in the lead with a 1-0 here. We are currently in the round of 16, actually. Discape, thank you very much for the support, my friends. Thanks for the sub, bro. And yeah, Evil Murkies versus Team Liquid. 1-0 for Team Liquid, and Tetcher and myself are going to find out right now how the Murkies are going to plan coming back into the best of 3 series here.
Yeah, we will see. For now, though, they're really struggling over their first ban. We have a lot of ones we've seen pretty consistently, and here is one of them, Zagara. Very strong. Falstad, also very, very good in this map, and I'd actually prefer this ban, and that's what they go for.
Falstad has to be banned. I mean, if you give Falstad away on this map, you're a little bit crazy. Because he is so good. It's probably one of the best maps in the entire pool for him, especially ones that you have the 3 altar scenarios spawning on the map. But another ban that we could definitely see is also Vikings. Vikings here are incredibly strong. We had a lot of teams that have been putting a huge focus on Vikings. Vikings are actually a fun hero. It's one of those heroes where you have teams that completely disregard them, and you have other teams that put a huge priority on them. And in this case, if the Evil Murkies do not pick the Vikings, Team Liquid will. 100% in my opinion.
Yeah, Team Liquid banning out the Grey main, so Vikings left available. Zul picked up by Murkies, and Vikings is someone who can kind of deal with Zul. You can't really counter his push, but you can counter the XP you get from leaving Zul to push.
And we all know that Shed is one of the players that they used to play a lot on the Vikings as well. I mean, we've seen his Abathur, we've seen his Vikings. Abathur, another hero that they could in theory go for. So that's another one that they can definitely play. Grey main banned out. I mean, there's a couple of things, of course, to consider as well. We've seen a bit of an increase already in Zaratools being played. And Viking...
There it is.
There we go. If you play the Vikings, then you have to be a little bit afraid of a potential Zeratul player. And that's actually something that the Evil Murkies could throw into the mix now.
Yeah, unless Liquid want to try and steal that away, but it would be a bit too risky for them, especially to start off with the first 2 picks, Viking Zeratul, is just almost unthinkable. Instead, gonna be bringing out the Warrior, going for the Beard Brigade, the Muradin being picked up.
Yeah, Muradin being locked down here. It's actually like an interesting that sometimes, depending on how you play, the Vikings don't necessarily like bring you way ahead in the early game here, but then later on when those altars spawn, that's a completely different story, and they will always put you in a situation where taking team fights for the opponent's team is not really worth it 100%. TeamLiquid with the switch over to Thrall.
Yeah, still got a goatee, kind of big.
Yeah.
But the Thrall, very, very powerful. The Sundering against the Zul. Zul tries to lock someone down, Thrall sunders, and then can get in once that Curse Strikes has expired. Can really kill him off quite nicely.
I like it for, like, I would have liked Muradin as well, but he would have catered towards a bit of a different playstyle, whereas Thrall, of course, it puts you in a situation where you can either rely on Muradin or you can go for a Johanna, even a Stitches, like you have a bit more variety in your front line. The Evil Murkies for, oh, there we go, that looks more like a one-shot combo right now, going for Zul plus Tyrande, so we could see a Bone Prison into a stun. Wouldn't be too shocked to see a Jaina banned out by TeamLiquid, if they actually feel that the Evil Murky, or if the Evil Murkies don't pick her now. And yeah, with ETC being picked, I mean, this is basically begging for a Jaina to ban down right now.
Yep, I would completely agree. And it would be just a solid ban from Liquid in general. Just getting rid of that burst damage, because nothing will kill off your Vikings quicker than just having Jaina vulnerable them all and kill them off before you can jump.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, with Tyrande, Zul lockdown, Mosh Pit, I mean, that Jaina is going to have fun. If they actually allow that Jaina, we have seen Jaina decline a little bit, but this is basically screaming one shot to me right now. So TeamLiquid, they are more afraid of the Zeratul that we pointed out earlier against the Vikings than they are of the Jaina. That's a statement. Or they pick her. That's of course another option that they have.
Yeah, it would, yeah, Liquid could definitely still pick up the Jaina. They could pick it away from Evil Murkies themselves, and it wouldn't be too bad for them. They could drop that down to follow up on Thrall.
Let me put it like this. I like Zeratul as a ban, and I talked about Zeratul already before, that as a counter to the Vikings, you could pick Zeratul. The reason is actually simple. You could even go for Gathering Power with him. Not only is he himself very good to kill the Vikings and find them on the map, sneak in and take them out, but if you try to capitalize on it by picking also Gathering Power, it makes you a very, very dangerous tool against the opponent. So banning him out is by no means a bad ban. But with the Murkies going into now a one-shot combo, more or less, that Jaina is just super scary, because she's one of the heroes that can just dish the damage in so fast. So TeamLiquid might actually end up in picking Jaina here. We know that Chris played Jaina quite a bit, so this is an option for them. But they could also just completely disregard the whole thing and say like, hey, we are strong enough, we're going to play around that, we're going to have a hero with a cleanse. If we're getting locked down, we have Sundering on Thrall that we can use for that as well, and we are going to keep us mobile enough. In this case, it actually looks like that might happen, because we are still missing a support, we're still missing a tank, and they went for Li Ming for the damage.
Yeah, and taking the Li Ming away also does mitigate this burst comp a little bit. Li Ming does fit in quite well if you want to go for single burst of ETC Tyrande. Jaina fits in too, but Li Ming is a bit more versatile for Team Liquid's composition.
Yeah, that's true. As long as they can really like avoid getting Mosh Pit, that's definitely the case. And I'm curious if we're going to, like, if that Jaina is not going to be picked, because we can go into Jaina, and then they could go into a second frontline if they wanted. They have good damage already. I mean, like, they have a Zul that can help ETC out as well, so they could even, like, go into more support. They can be pretty flexible with what they're doing right now. Vala, again, like, we have really seen teams go away from a J9. I personally think that is absolutely crazy. I don't like that at all. Like, if you played that combo here, then I feel a J9 has to be appearing on the map.
I mean, if you have a composition that's perfect for that kind of burst situation, then it's really effective. But they've gone for what looks like a burst comp and then changed it up into a more sustained damage style comp. It's very, very weird.
Like, at least go Rain of Vengeance this time. I mean, at least go into the Rain of Vengeance at this point. I personally believe that Jaina would have made all the difference here, because this is really the setup that we have seen dominate rotations, and which is definitely what they are trying to do here right now. that Vala should definitely go into Rain of Vengeance at least so that you can capitalize on the mosh pit or at least on the stuns. I mean, stun combo into a Rain of Vengeance later on more or less guarantees you a kill. But yeah, they need some damage in there. But they go away from that Jaina, and that is just showcasing once again that Jaina has fallen off quite significantly. I mean, if you don't pick Jaina in this composition, then you are never going to pick her.
Yeah, and I would say so. They're just completely moving away from it for the moment. And now Liquid, they do need a tank on their side with Muradin banned, ETC taken away. Johanna would be pretty nice for them. Someone who can blind out the Sonya, blind out Vala, blind out Tyrande and Azul. Actually, I think Johanna would be very solid here.
And survive.
And survive, yeah. Survive is okay. I'm not sure about this.
I have actually, this would be interesting pick because
okay.
I agree, by the way, on the Johanna, but this would be an interesting pick because BKB himself has actually said several times that he feels Arthas as a solo frontliner without double support is someone that is getting bursted down too easily because he has no escape. So this basically says, I find that very ambitious. I mean, that can definitely work. They have quite a bit of like control during the fights, but Arthas is not going to have the easiest time surviving, even with Rhaegar and the Ancestral Healing. And considering, I mean, BKB must have either changed his opinion in the last couple of days, or he just says, well, I might have been wrong. He's going to be able to survive that, because with Zul, amplified damage in 16, Tyrande with the vulnerable and everything, this is something where he does not have the opportunity to rely on something like an iron skin. So, interesting choice.
Yeah, and he's running another assassin, another warrior basically there, that doesn't have a stun. So he's sort of pulled his team out of a potential way to get rid of Mosh Pit here by just going for a hero that mostly has roots.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk about Johanna, she at least has the Blessed Shield that she can use.
Yeah, Condemn.
Yeah, Arthas doesn't have like an interrupt, so they are relying on Thrall heavily for the Sundering now, if ETC gets a Mosh Pit off in the first place. So an interesting last pick here for Team Liquid. But yeah, let's see how exactly they're going to play that right now. I mean, Team Liquid is ahead, but I must say that a few of the things in the draft here surprised me a little bit. Yeah, let's jump into game number 2. We have Towers of Doom coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Team Liquid going up against the Evil Murkies. Game number 2, everybody, is starting up. Team Liquid with 1-0 lead against the Evil Murkies here at the Summer Qualifier. And to the left side of the map, we have now Lowell playing Thrall for Team Liquid. We see Chris on Liming, Get Amherd on Rhaegar, Shat as expected on the Lost Vikings, and BKB with his Arthas that he's playing right now, rocking that new skin. Whereas to the right side of the map, we're seeing the Evil Murkies with Q on Tyrande, we have Tank on Sonya, Tic Tac on ETC, Danantan on Vala, and Arcane playing Azul right now. So overall, 2 interrupts on the side of Team Liquid against the Mosh Pit. If Li Ming goes for the wave of Force, which is definitely an option, we've seen it several times already being chosen against an ETC. But yeah, BKB is rocking his Arthur skin here. I actually asked him before the game started why they chose Arthur's over Johanna. And he said, first of all, well, because the skin is so much better. Which was, of course, a bit of a joke. He said afterwards that he feels he has a bit more sustain on his Arthurs than he does have with the Johanna in this case right now. But yeah, that skin is definitely pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is very, very cool. We both have a bit of an issue with the Batman symbols that we can currently see in this scuffle in the top lane, but it is still an amazing skin.
Yeah, so we have a Viking kill already early on, and there's a couple of things that we still need to talk about once again. First of all, we have on level 1 now explosive attacks taken. That helps really with the wave clear a little bit on Balog, but it also can later on be used if you're trying to take a few of those Mercams. And Mercams with the Vikings and with Mercenary Lord taken on level 4 are incredibly strong on this map, since the Mercenary Lord talent also increases the explosion damage that it dishes out against structures, which is incredibly powerful. At the top lane here, we have already a bit of a trap. Tic Tac is actually trying to get out of here as he gets rooted down by the Howling Blast, and yeah, that didn't work out as intended.
Yeah, the Arthur's root. Everyone forgets about it until you get hit by it. It's just like, oh god, this is really strong. And as such, we do see ETC getting picked off. And BKB just went back to base to grab some health back. He's a little bit lower mana because he has been using his E a lot so far.
Like, I don't know what actually happened up there. I mean, if you want to gank someone, it's a pretty silly idea to gank 4 players with only 3. Let's just put it like that.
There are plenty of Vikings to farm. Like, look at this. Arcade's just going to go in on one now. Tic Tac coming in. Not going to go in for the actual kill, though. Shad will be able to get out of there with Olaf. And with the Shrine spawning in the bottom lane, that altar We're going to see everyone from the Evil Murkies head down there a little bit early.
Yeah, so that attempt at the top lane, I don't really understand what they were trying to do. They tried to really snipe a target in a group of 4 heroes with 3 that committed to it, so that backfired. Tic-Tac went down. Now, on the other hand, we're having that first time there. But one of the things that I want to also point out is that Vala actually decided to not go into that hybrid auto-attack style that we usually see, but instead went into the arrow build, which is of course still absolutely viable, especially when you're fighting for those altars. But it's very interesting to see that. So a switch in the style. They're trying to go for Lowell here, and Lowell is actually isolated, and that was a great kill here. With Arthur's missing at the top lane, that was a very, very sweet kill that they just got.
Yeah, able to pick up below is a pretty big deal for them. And for now, though, with the roll down, and we did actually see Zul just able to survive against Arthas in the top lane. Like you said, he was missing, but he was trying to kill Arcane, but he forced Arcane back, but he's already healed up and is able to take down the minions in the mid lane.
Talking Zul, by the way, we don't have Jailers taking on level 4, but instead he went for the mana sustain, so it's most likely going to be Ratma's Blessing on level 7. Then he could go for this full skeleton build here. With the skeleton warrior build, you have your mana sustain, you have the life sustain, so you can stay on lane like forever, which is going to be super powerful here. Again, the lockdown, this time against Vala. Very nice wolf by Lowell, and they get that kill easy peasy. Well done here. Tyrande alone is just not in a position where she can out-heal that. She also does not have a cleanse later on, so this is a very sweet deal for them, getting that second kill in. And TeamLiquid is playing so far a very nice early game, getting the 2 early kills.
Baylog, unfortunately, running a bit too far forward, does get picked off, and they were very unlucky. The sappers that they did take did die off before they were able to get them onto the buildings of the Evil Murkies, so that Mercenary Lord for Shad not going as well as they hoped for now. Though they have found Zul, and Zul is gone.
Yeah, way too far out. I mean, he should have seen that rotation coming, so he got a bit too greedy there. The rest of the team is starting to move over, but the Evil Murkies don't get that kill. So yeah, in this setup, very nice play so far. We are also having another route, this time against Sonya. She might be in trouble, gets slowed down by the aura already. The stun follow-up is this time not hitting, very well done. Sonya is down, and that is just working incredibly well. Once again, I have to say, BKB on his front line is an absolute monster.
Yeah, he is beasting his way through with this. Arthas, he's found Vala and annihilated. The damage from destruction plus his team just kills anyone.
Yeah, like BKB is real. I mean, as a front line, he's basically just saying the entire time, you don't screw with the Lich King. He's just always there with another Howling Blast, making it work. And in the meantime, we're having, of course, the Vikings also with the spin to win down. And on level 4, I mean, that Mercenary Lord talent is just so absolutely perfect for this map. It's incredibly strong here. It's so ridiculously strong that a lot of the players actually say it's even broken on this map if you get the value out of it. And that's exactly what they're trying here. Also with Shadow the bot lane, trying to get another camp by himself. So this is looking very cool. Nice timing also with him going for the well that helped Baylog at the bot. But up at the top, BKB for the first time in trouble and annihilated actually.
Yeah, the issue with Arthas here, you don't get a lot of very quick healing. Down goes Thrall as well. Shad on that Eric is at full speed. There's the stun, and Tank for the win, getting the kill.
Yeah, at the bot lane, now we're going to see also the full value of what you can actually achieve with the Mercenary Lord, by the way, because these bad boys are going to run in, and this is going to be the entire wall. Like, they are easily going to get that. Bam, and the last tower dies as well. And that's exactly what we're talking about. That Mercenary Lord talent also amplifies the damage that the explosion itself does, and it allows you easily to take these structures apart. And that brings TeamLiquid now to an early level 10, where we indeed see, as expected, Wave of Force, which is going to give them another interrupt against the Mosh Pit.
Yeah, and Arthas bringing out that army of the dead. He wants that sustain. And also the cooldown of Syndragosa after the patch rate a couple patches ago. Very, very high, so just getting that sustain instead. They are able to capture the boss here just in time for the next altar to be available.
Yeah, and with them already like taking down the double altar a bit earlier, they are now finally pushing Evil Murkies down to 28 of those core points. Keep in mind that with another altar now spawning on the map, we still have a level 10 versus level 7 talent situation. And of course we are going to see an attempt by the Evil Murkies to mitigate that. They have level 10 right now. Chris is getting stunned out here, but can they actually jump in? I don't think so, especially with Zul still being up at the top lane.
Ooh, just missing Chris with that stun. As such, the altar will once again go over to Liquid, really just working down that core of the Evil Murkies. It's 36 to 24 in favor of Liquid right now.
Again, Q being attacked here. We also have, at this point, play again, of course, being chosen again. And look at Vala, again going for the strafe. I don't like it. I have to actually say, I think this is a mistake. Here comes, what are you going to do right now? If you are Vala and you have the Rain of Vengeance, you get that kill in. Now they take down Thrall after Zul already died. But that mosh pit didn't really do as much as they were hoping for. Strafe only kills walls of the Vikings off, and that's just not enough.
Yeah, and the Wave of Force there, not really working out for Li Ming in the way that she hoped, as the mosh pit was able to capture her and Thrall, who'd already used Sundering, so they didn't have any abilities available to interrupt mosh pit. And this is the issue of running Arthas as opposed to someone like Johanna.
Yeah, I have to admit that it's really surprising me a little bit to see how exactly Vala is currently being skilled here. I'm not really... like the entire build, I don't like it. I don't see the synergy. We're going into a normal arrow build, but on level 7, instead of going for the repeating arrow, you instead go for the searing attacks. I don't see any sense in that. That is no synergy whatsoever. Either you go into an arrow build, or you're trying to work towards the auto attacks, and that just simply doesn't work. Rain of Vengeance, letting go with Tic Tac, and also, well, not Tic Tac, but also in this case then Tic Tac on ETC and Q on his Tyrande, opening like opportunities up with a stun for you. I think that's a huge mistake. I really don't like how Danatan is currently playing as Vala here. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning behind this is, but I don't think there is any synergy to what he's doing.
Yeah, I agree. I am a little bit confused with this. We'll see how it does pay off for him in the late game, though. And it looks like the Vikings getting ready to teleport down, but with Eric gone, it's Olaf going to be running down here. BKB getting caught out a little bit here, but with the healing ward down, healing totem, he's going to get a lot of his health back here. Is near him as well. There's the army of the dead. The poison's over, though. Does do damage to those. Arakim getting focused, but he gets out.
Yeah, they're starting to jump in right now. BKB used the army of the dead. Arcane gets away. We are Thrall now also with the giant killer. And at the same time, we are seeing the glass cannon taken. We have the cooldown reduction for the healing ward jump being used by the Vikings, the Relentless and Arthas. And this is really where his sustain comes into play. Not only the army of the dead, but also him using Relentless and then later on going into Stone Skin. This is going to make him so difficult to kill, which is one of the reasons why they actually went into the hero in the first place. Shat trying to keep the Vikings alive, but Olaf is dead.
Yeah, the issue of the is, like you said, this is why they went into it, but Army of the Dead in that last fight got really hard countered by Poison Nova, because pretty much a lot of the soldiers from Army of the Dead died before they could actually be used for healing because the poison killed them.
It's actually like a very good point. This is definitely a problem that he will have to be careful about in the later stages. Again, here comes Tic Tac. He has the mosh pit up. Could use it if he gets a good one. Nice heal. Chris still alive, but for how long? The owl takes him down. Q with a very nice owl play here. Danatan has to be careful, though. He gets a heal, but Shat is now in play as well with the Vikings. Put everyone into that fight, trying to go for a bit of a flank. Level 13 versus 13, 20 versus 36 points on the core. And so far, you're actually seeing the Evil Murkies, at least in the fights themselves, looking better and better.
Yeah, they're bringing this back a bit. A lot of heroics were used by the side of Liquid before that fight happened, so we just saw the advantage go a little bit into Evil Murkies' favor in that last fight, and as such, they are catching up a lot in terms of XP. They're currently about a quarter of a level behind in XP in total, which is really a surmountable deficit.
Now we have on level 13, by the way, I mean, we have a full skeleton build on the side of Zul, which we already kind of expected. We're seeing again Sonya trying to go into the spell shield to have a bit more sustain. Vala with a frost shot.
Okay. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? I'm not surprised anymore. Zul getting focused there.
Oh, the mosh pit! And Q with the damage. There we go. They get the kill, and nice. That was actually like a really nice opportunity that they saw, and Tic Tac took it immediately to get that kill against Arthas.
Yeah, super nicely saved by DC there. Really saved his teammate's life and guaranteed a kill. And we currently see Shad try to babysit those mercenaries. Instead, he's getting caught out. There's the jump. Tag for the win, though, still with his spear to try and take him down. In the meantime, Arcane's actually being chased at the top lane. Baylog does get taken down.
Yeah, so the Vikings are really starting to... I mean, overall, the Vikings, of course, already been doing a pretty decent job. But keep in mind that one of their biggest selling points on this map is not only that they can use the Mercenary Lord, but it's also that once that we have triple altars appearing on the map, they are going to get even more value out of it. And this is around the time when we are going to see quite a lot of altars spawning. In this case, it's only one, but we can expect like triple altar events in just a bit, and that's where the Vikings can really make all the difference.
Yep, this is true, and the Vikings gonna be alive again in not too long. But this bell tower actually is gonna get taken down. Oh no, it's gonna be saved. BKB pushing back, so it's currently gonna be a bell tower for no bell tower in favor of Liquid in these last fights. So Liquid with the bell tower advantage here.
Vikings with a play again came into the situation as well. Here comes that Sundering. Down goes ETC, and they're starting to turn it against Q. Nice poison over. This was a big one, but at the same time, we're having the kill against Sonya, against Tyrande. Everybody dead and dying, with the exception of Vala, who got away. At the top lane, I mean, this bell tower was already taken. This puts us into a 5 versus 3 situation in bell towers. They can snipe this one before they start the channel down here. And this is going to put 6 shots onto the core of the red team. Very well played here by TeamLiquid.
Yeah, and that's a huge chunk. That is a quarter of what remaining health they do have on their core. And we do see the mercenaries getting picked up as well. There's currently no fort in that bot lane, so they could actually just babysit these to push it even further, but it looks like instead they're going to put their priorities up towards that boss, and they will be able to take that. Actually, they might not. The Sentinel does spot them.
Yeah, well, boss at the top lane is currently being attacked here. They're definitely going to go for this one, and I think they should be able to get this one in time. It's actually going to get a lot closer than I thought it would. Here comes that slide. Tic-tac with the mosh pit immediately interrupted. Well done here. They're trying to go for the kill and they have him down, but the rest of the team is also starting to rush away. The shots are fired against the red team. Double kill in exchange as Thrall falls. Getamhead is about to move away. The kill against Q as BKB turns it around once again. A 1-for-3 trade and the boss. Well played here. They get Vala as well. Sonya, sorry. And Ara. This is an entire team wipe. Amazing play by TeamLiquid. Incredibly well done.
Never mind. I was about to just waiting for the office queue. I'd like to point out that while that was happening, Olaf actually babysat the mercenaries in the bot lane all the way onto core as well. So they got the bonus damage out of that too.
I mean, at this point, it's 7 points on the core, and they're getting kill after kill after kill. And the GG is already called because now with all of the bell towers under the control of TeamLiquid, shot after shot is being fired, and apparently they don't see any chance of coming back into this. Eric is dead, but I mean, what does that matter? Vala went into the blood for blood. We have Nerves of Steel now taken, and up to the top, Danantan is already aiming to at least claim 1 bell tower back, but the core is losing points. There's a double event on the map already, and this has to be it. The GGs are already caught as Evil Murkies realizes this is not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, core getting taken out. The top bell tower still with over half its, just under half health left. They won't even be able to kill it in time. So that is going to be... Oh, hang on. Poison Nova going to try at least. Sundering, never mind. That is going to be GG. And TeamLiquid will move on to the next round with a 2-0.
Really well played. 2-0 victory against the Evil Murkies. Very solid performance by TeamLiquid. And BKB is looking strong with the team. Congratulations. And we will see them in later rounds. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on Khaldor TV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.